and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we are going to be going over in full Barca's 5-1 demolition of Mallorca on Tuesday, and we're going to be looking to the words of Hansi Flick, who I have to say was in absolutely fantastic mood yesterday, and that puts me in a fantastic mood. We're going to be talking all about what he had to say, including Lamine Yamal, Raphinha coming up here today, Frenkie de Jong, and also Pau Victor discussed again. There's real debate right now going on surrounding him, and we're going to be talking about everything that we saw from Barca yesterday with a smile on our face. So let's do it. But I do have to begin right here, guys, with an absolutely incredible super thanks shout out here. Really appreciate the support on the podcast. It was a nice little addition, I feel, on the channel to help me basically not miss any uploads at all. So I'll be deploying that if and when required. And a really big one here as well from Matthew. Great to see you back on the channel, my friend. He says that yesterday, Pau Victor really did unlock us. We're going to be talking about that. And even Gil Manzano could not stop us yesterday. I mean, we must have been good to win a match that comfortably with Manzano overseeing it. That was very impressive indeed. So thank you there for that fantastic support. But if we do get started now on the Hansi Flick reaction to what he saw from his team in yesterday's game there, not only in terms of the result, but of course the all-important second half performance in particular. And Flick said it was really important for us to win this match. And he did also say, though, in the first half, we had a lot of chances too. So we could have scored 1 or 2 more goals in the first half, but we conceded after a mistake from us. But he said then at half-time, we spoke about what we wanted to do in the second half, and we did it there. And Flick was asked by the reporters inside of the press conference, are you happy with the win? Do you feel very satisfied and content now? Did you feel that way during the game? And then Flick sort of made a face. He sort of posed for the reporters with a smile. He said, what do you think? What do you think I am feeling right now? But he did actually say, I do always like it, though, when the team keeps a clean sheet. He said we didn't do that today, but he said I was really happy with all of the chances that we created and the fact that we scored 5 goals there. So even after winning 5-1, Flick is still not happy about the one. He wanted a clean sheet. He wanted us there to shut out Mallorca, which we didn't quite manage to do. So he's still striving for more all of the time. But I thought it was interesting now when he was asked about his team selection. Of course, the big absence was Robert Lewandowski. What was the plan there behind resting him? When did you come to that decision? And he actually admitted that on Monday, his plan was not to rest Lewandowski. But he said, I thought about it again on match day. He said, I had a feeling within me, and I spoke as well with my coaching staff, and we felt as though it was a good time in the end to rest him. And he said as well, I did also think about resting Raphinha too, but he came to us and he told us he felt really good. And Flick said, you all saw that he very much did. So it was interesting there that Flick not only was thinking about Lewandowski, but also Raphinha. But I think that was the key here. We didn't overdo it in yesterday's game. It was a very big surprise not to see Lewandowski, but the rest of the team was very strong. That was very different to what we saw, for instance, away at Osasuna, when we made widespread changes there, lots of rotation, all in one go. And I think a more calculated approach here is certainly something we need to see. You know, rest one, make one key change, but keep the rest as strong as you can. And we may see one more against Betis ahead of Dortmund, for example, because Flick said that Lewandowski has played many minutes. He needed a break in this game, and he did point out we've got important matches to come. You know, Betis on Saturday, Dortmund then next Wednesday. So we may see a few more key changes, but without overdoing it, especially here in games that are not easy. And it was also very interesting that in yesterday's game, Barca managed to catch offside on 11 different occasions. And that number there has certainly been bumped up from our previous games there. That is the same number, actually, as both of our previous matches combined. So Barca certainly working a lot more effectively yesterday. We're stepping up, keeping that high line and making sure that we are catching opponents off. But I've got to say, despite his really good mood in this press conference, Flick was actually angry in this moment. He was very frustrated about the process of these offsides. He said the most annoying thing for me is that we have to keep running back. He said every single time. Because he said in some situations, they're offside by 5 metres. And we've still got to run back. He said, I don't understand it. Surely, if it's clear, we can flag it. I do not like this. So very strong words there from Hansi Flick. And I've been wanting to talk about this, actually, for a while. It really annoys me too. Because surely, when it's a clear offside, when you've got daylight there in between the back line and the attacker, surely the linesman, they're able to give that. They are confident enough in their own ability as an official to say, okay, I can see that's offside. I don't need to rely on VAR because I know that's why we let it go on. So then VAR can be consulted later if needed. And that's fine for close decisions, let it go on, let it run just in case. But when it's clear, when it's obvious, I know that we're in La Liga. I know we're talking about La Liga officials, but surely even they are competent enough to make that call. Or, actually thinking about it, maybe they're not. But anyway, guys, moving back now to the good stuff, and the really, really good stuff, because we have to talk about Lamine Yamal. What a performance that it was. And like I said in the review yesterday, I still feel as though he's not even at his maximum yet. He's still recovering after that injury, getting his full sharpness back, because, he could have scored in this game. So there's still more to come from him, but I'm just still thinking about the assist there, that outside of the foot whipped pass, and the way that he did it again later on in that second half too. It was absolutely incredible. And he was actually asked there after the game, how do you do it? That technique is absolutely extraordinary. Do you know what he said? He said, the pass with the outside of my foot, just press L2, I guess. And that's just a typical response there from a 17-year-old enjoying his football, and he is quoting controls there from his PlayStation. And at times, to be honest, the way Yamal plays, it's like he is playing a video game. It's like it's not even real what he's able to do. And at his age, it is simply extraordinary. But I also thought as well, it was really interesting after the game because he said, in La Liga, though, we've lost some very stupid points. And he just came out and said that. And this is the thing about the kids here. We saw it also recently with Gavi. They say what's on their mind. They're not mincing their words here. They know their quality. They know their impact in the team. And Yamal has ultimately said here, we've given away points. We have given away some very stupid points. And he's absolutely right. Because he can talk, by the way. Because yesterday's win means that we keep up our record this season in the league that every single time that Lamine Yamal has started, we have won. Only without him in that lineup, have we faced defeat in La Liga. And that is absolutely extraordinary there. And Flick said, he is always important. With quality that he has, he makes a huge difference in our team. But he also could have scored. He said 1 or 2 goals, but he was very good and we need him. So even Flick here, he's pushing him more and more. Of course he appreciates Yamal. Of course he understands his significance in this team. But even yesterday, he's wanting more from him. He could have scored, and I'm sure that he will go on to score many, many goals. But Flick was very keen to point out too, again, it's not only Yamal, though, that has played well. He said, I always want to speak about the central defenders. He said, it's not easy our style of play, but they're doing really well. He spoke about Kubasi. He said he's 17, he's really young, but he plays like a veteran. It is unbelievable. He said Pedri in midfield, he's top. And also Raphinha, he is excellent there. So Flick really singling out several players in each of the lines, really contributing and helping our team tick right now. And what I found particularly intriguing there is when you're looking at the penalty that was awarded in the second half there, because Flick actually admitted in his press conference that without Lewandowski as the penalty taker, the players would ultimately decide who was going to take that pen. Nobody was actually selected by the coaching staff. They could decide based on who's feeling good, who's feeling confident of taking it. And if you actually look here, Raphinha, he offers the penalty to Lamine Yamal. He went up to him there with the ball. He offered him to take it there to get himself on the score sheet, to take a penalty himself. But Lamine was insistent there that Raphinha, you are the one that can go on and take it there. And Flick also said in his press conference, by the way, that he didn't even see that exchange. He didn't know whether it happened because during penalties, he always faces in the opposite direction. It's something that he's always done. But hey, I don't think any of us complained when Raphinha took the ball. When he stepped up to that penalty, he is feeling so good right now. And the way that he finished it off, it was absolutely emphatic there. So Raphinha, the right taker, the right man for the job. And he is a man right now on a mission. But of course, course, guys, it wasn't only about the starting players in yesterday's game, and that's really important because it's been a week, really, of these difficult results, difficult performances, and we've spoken a lot about the squad, you know, needing to give more, needing to help the starting lineup. But I think Flick was probably most happy of all about the players who came on and added something to the game and improved, actually, our performance as that game went on. That is what we need to see here. We need to have everybody contributing and ultimately pushing those in the lineup as well, because Flick said, we're really happy today because we've had a lot of players who came back from long injuries, and it's not always the case that they're back and playing at 100%. He said it's always a bit up and down. You know, you have some good days, you have some bad days there with the players that have come back, but he said today, I'm really happy that we see Ferran Torres scoring the first goal, which was important. He said Frenkie de Jong then came on and he scored and he assisted as well, and he also pointed out that Gavi came on and had a really, really good game. So Flick there, very happy with those players being introduced and those coming back, of course, from those injury layoffs. But what was even more interesting is that after the game, just because Frenkie scored, just because Pau Victor scored, they were still not exempt from getting back out there. Because quite a few times here under Flick at Barca, we have seen the subs after games go back out onto the field there to be put through a few drills, a bit more physical work, and as you can see right here, on the pitch after the game against Mallorca, Frenkie de Jong, Pau Victor, also Eric Garcia, they were all out there after the game, and even after winning 5-1, even after really good feelings, really good mood, Hansi Flick is still insistent on that hard work and pushing the players and making sure, and we need to do this now, that guard does not drop. But speaking indeed though about Frenkie de Jong, he was also one of those players that spoke after the game there to Barca 1, and he actually came out and said, I've got to be patient with everything right now. He said, I know that's how it is, so I'm going to continue doing what I do. He said, I'm working, I'm keeping my head down, and at some point we will see how it ends there. And I've got to say, that is an incredibly cryptic quote from Frenkie de Jong. I mean, is he talking about things out on the field there in terms of his physical level, in terms of his performance in the Barca shirt? Or could this even allude here to things away from the field in terms of his contract situation? I mean, those words there could mean absolutely anything, but either way, it was good to see him contributing there, coming off the bench, actually looking very lively, being very involved in all phases of play when he came on, scored a goal, right place, right time, good finish as well. That was a much more confident finish, maybe, that goal, than, say, Ferran's was there for the opener, and it was a really nice assist as well to Pau Victor for the fifth, and that was really, really good signs from Frenkie. And well, speaking about Ferran, speaking as well about Pau Victor, why don't we talk there about the impact of Pau there? Came on with 18 minutes to go, replacing Ferran Torres, and again, he makes a real impression on the game, just like when he came on against Las Palmas. Luckily in this game, he got a few more minutes, he got a bit more time to show his quality, and he did there. He is electric, and he brings pace, he brings energy to this team, and that there yesterday was his second La Liga goal. He's also got one assist in the league this season, and given that he's only played 170 minutes, that is all that he's played this season, that is a goal contribution every 56 minutes of play, and that is absolutely outstanding there. Those are some serious numbers, and you wonder if they can even improve. If he could get more minutes there, would he score more goals? Would he be able to provide more and more and more in this team? And Pau after the game said, I feel really good. He said, I have a lot of confidence right now. I'm in really good shape physically. He said, I'm going to try and take advantage of every minute the coach gives me. Whether it's 1 minute, whether it's 90 minutes there, I'm going to try and make a difference. And that there, really good attitude. You saw that when he came on yesterday. He could have been frustrated. He could have been annoyed that he didn't start instead of Ferran. But instead, he comes on, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to show you what I can do. And he said, when you compete, though, with the best striker in the world, it's difficult to get minutes. He said, I try to learn a lot, though, from Lewandowski every single day. So Pau there understanding that certainly Lewandowski, he's ahead of him in the pecking order. We know that. But the big question should be, in my opinion, should he be next in the pecking order there? You've got Lewandowski. We know that he's going to play. We know he's absolutely key. But beyond that, should Pau Victor, in your opinion, be ahead of Ferran Torres. Because looking at the game yesterday, looking at the way the two of them play, I think they offer similar things in terms of profile. They both want to go in behind, that's good. They both offer their more energy, more mobility, for instance, than Lewandowski. So in different situations, you can use that. But for me, Pau, he's just more calculated in his play than Ferran there. Certainly in the final third, I think his game looks a lot more polished. His game right now looks a lot more put together than Ferran. And I think he's actually playing with a lot more confidence too. So that for me would put him ahead of Ferran in the pecking order. But would you guys agree with that? And I would just like to say right here and now that despite all of the good things that we've heard today from Hansi Flick in his press conference there, all of the great quotes that he's given, there's one more. And this by far and away was the best quote of the press conference, because Flick said, in his own words, "We are happy that the November is over, and now we start with December." I guess Flick has understood here that I've got the bleep on the channel now, that we can sort of integrate these kinds of things, and Flick openly saying there what we were all thinking: let's leave November behind and let's move on now with a special December. The month of celebration is right here, and let's kick on now. And also, guys, please let me know in the comments down below too, along with your thoughts on today's video, any questions you may have for the next episode of the TalkFCB podcast. And please also leave your name if you'd like it to be read out. We're going to be talking about lots of things to come ahead of Betis versus Barca. Let me know those questions down below. Let me know your thoughts on today's video. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you soon for more exciting times with this club again. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.